to BLOCKTV. It's time now for Chain Breakers. Now, while it may be out of its infancy, the crypto industry still faces a tough adolescence. The pipes and infrastructure of the industry still need to be built so the average user can have a smooth UX without seeing the infrastructure going on underneath. One company working at the front line of this battle to hide the wheels and cogs is Unstoppable Domains. And I'm joined now by Bradley Kam, co-founder and biz dev of Unstoppable Domain, and joined in studio by Alon Goren, co-founder of Draper, Goren, Holm. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so Bradley, I want to start with you today, talking a little bit about the latest developments of Unstoppable Domains. Now, we've had you on the show before, but let's really drill in here on what you guys are working on at the moment.
Sure. So as you all probably know, we build domains on blockchains. So we launched our own domain name system called .crypto. It's not part of traditional DNS. The domain names are stored by the user, which means that no one can put up or take down a website other than you. And so we have domains. You can launch websites on IPFS, but there's an obvious problem, which is they don't work in Google Chrome. They don't work in other browsers that you might use. And so we are working on native integrations with browsers, but in the meantime, we launched our own browser. And what's unique about this browser is that you can type in a .crypto domain, see a website. You can type in a .com domain and see a website. But the browser itself also has an IPFS node in it. So when your viewers go to a website, so let's say BLOCKTV had a website on this system, every one of your users that go and view the website can click a button and decide to share it to the peer-to-peer network, making it more decentralized.
All right, I mean, it sounds like an exciting development, a means of actually, as you say, integrating the crypto infrastructure and the infrastructure of Unstoppable Domains into a native system where it can be used. I believe you have a chance to show us a little bit of how your system works. Can we take a little look from your computer there?
Yeah, let's do a little live demo here. So this is our browser. You can see here, I'll just show you real quick so you believe me that it works like a regular browser does. So there's the New York Times. Now I'm going to type in .crypto domain. And there's Tim Draper's website on IPFS. And in honor of your studio guest, I'm going to show here a DEX that was launched by Alon on IPFS. So you can see alondex.crypto. You can see that it's on IPFS, and now I can use an exchange. This is a exchange that only Alon can put up or take down. Unstoppable Domains can't put it up or take it down. No one can. No one other than him with his private key.
All right, well, this seems a good chance to bring Alon into the conversation. Now, Alon, your relationship with Unstoppable Domains, tell us a little bit about it and what the interest is from Draper, Goren, Holm and yourself in developing this technology into the industry.
Absolutely. So, when I first met Unstoppable, they were actually a Boost VC company going in there, and I remember being super interested and excited about what they're doing. And then Tim Draper ended up investing, and we just followed them. So we're not personally, invested in Unstoppable, but I was extremely fascinated. And then talking to Brad and all of the team members at various events and emailing them about stuff, I started kind of noodling in the system. And I kept asking them, is there going to be a good way to launch a DEX on IPFS and have it in your browser? And I was just trying to understand how the systems work and do research on IPFS. And one day, one of our portfolio companies launched a really simple way to launch a DEX. And we're constantly looking for ways to take our portfolio companies and Tim's or others within the Draper network and put them together and find ways to help both of them. So when Total, one of our portfolio companies, launched this product, I started playing with it and I launched the Alon DEX, mostly as a joke and testing the system. And then I kept sort of iterating on it, and their product kept getting better. And Unstoppable was about to launch their browser. Mm-hmm. And I was truly fascinated to see if I could host it on IPFS. And I was able to, and my mind was actually blown when I was using a mobile browser and it worked, and then I tested their browser and it worked. And so we decided to launch alondex.crypto. I don't take any fees on top of like the standard like 0.25% or whatever that the total API takes. So it's not some kind of moneymaker for me. For me, it's just the proliferation of these uncensorable, very, very cool products that are making it easier for mainstream people to participate. So I love this stuff. I'm a nerd for it. I actually stayed up launching the latest version in the hotel business center at like midnight a couple nights ago, just because I thought this was going to be so much fun.
Look, it's undoubtedly cool technology, Alon, but I suppose I need to ask the question here from a sort of functional average user standpoint. The fact that Unstoppable Domain's now launching their own native browser, it's an incredible tool and it sounds very powerful, but do you think the average consumer is going to take this up? Do you think this is going to be a widespread proliferation, or is this a stepping stone in your mind?
I think their browser and some of these things might be a stepping stone. It might become a very popular browser. I'm not sure, but I think that in general, all of these things are a step towards this mass adoption that everybody talks about. Because you think of countries like China, where every single person there uses a VPN to access the internet. It's not like, oh, some people do it, some people. Pretty much every single person you talk to is like, oh yeah, I listen to podcasts in America. Yeah, I listen to this. There's no way to do it without a VPN. Right. These are millions and millions of people doing it. And so for people to get a browser extension, or maybe some browsers will start natively adding .crypto as something, is not that far-fetched, and the average person is going to know how to use it very, very soon if they don't already.
Certainly, whether this extends to the average user. That brings in the next question. And Bradley, I want to bring you back into the conversation because I want to ask a question that a lot of people would talk about, and it often does come up when we talk about things that are, programs that are truly decentralized or that are uncensorable, ungovernable, uncontrollable. Is there any risk either from, let's say, a regulatory perspective, a governmental perspective, or perhaps from a criminal perspective, that there will be others out there that want to utilize this technology for a purpose that perhaps isn't as benevolent as you guys might be originally suggesting? Once out in the world, what are the risks that could potentially come back to you?
Yeah, so I think that just in general, whenever you're talking about open tools, it means that they're for everybody. And so then you have to ask yourself, what are the biggest problems that we face, as people? And I think it's fair to say that 2/3 or more of the world has a censored internet, is not able to say what they want, and are restricted from all kinds of speech that you and I probably enjoy. And this is the biggest problem, and this is the thing that decentralized tech is out there to solve. And so the vast majority of people that would want to use this stuff, just like the vast majority of people that use the internet, are not using it for bad things. Any technology can be used in this way. US dollars are used for crimes. Bitcoin is used for crimes sometimes. I'm sure there will be some people who will get the idea to try to use various types of decentralized tech for nefarious purposes. We hope that doesn't happen. But of course, it's something that is unavoidable no matter what you're building. We're fortunate to be in the United States where there is very strong free speech protections. So I think that's the right place to build a company like this. But yeah, there will be moments where it's controversial because various people don't like what's being said, and I think that's just the inevitable side effect of decentralized tech.
Certainly, the skirting of controversy always a key issue when it comes to decentralized technology. Another key issue, of course, Alon, bringing this back to you, it is a question as well of, at the moment, the internet as it stands right now, the digital world that we live on is vastly controlled by a small number of big power players who control the vast amount of control and are gatekeepers in the way that we access the internet and the digital world. Is the technology being put out by Unstoppable Domains the next step in moving away from that centralized model? And can we truly get a more decentralized internet, perhaps as was more originally envisioned?
I think so. I think that all of these tools and all of these things in general, the way decentralized finance is taking a little bit of power away from the banks, and this can take a little bit of power away from the governments who censor. In general, over time, we will have more power as a community and as a people, and it will eventually level the playing field the way we want. Maybe not fast enough, maybe there will be implications and roadblocks and bumps along the way, but I truly believe this is the path towards freedom for everyone and a borderless world.
A true belief in a new technology. Alon Goren, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on BLOCKTV. Bradley Kam, likewise, for joining us to discuss this great new development from Unstoppable Domains. Fantastic to hear from both you gentlemen, and for those at home, keep watching at blocktv.com for all the latest in news and information. I'm Asher Westrop Evans. Thanks for watching.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.